What's up, y'all? This is Lucas Coldaway, and this is Prolifically Born Again. So today I wanted to tell the story about the two dreams that I had when I was in prison about 8 years ago. Well, no, not 8 years ago, sorry. Maybe like 13, 14 years ago. Um, so this was right before God came into my life, and I was in prison in Calgary, and I was in a room with about 100 guys. So 100 guys on bunk beds spread out throughout a whole big room, right? With one guard in the little station there. And I was sleeping, and I had this first dream where I was in this room, and it was dark, and all of a sudden in the dream I felt this presence come in that room, and my whole body was captivated with fear. And the darker and darker it got, and the more that this presence came in the room, I felt pure evil. And it came to the point where it became so intense that I woke up screaming like this. "Ah!" And I literally woke up in a scream, and it was so loud, it was echoing all over the room. And the guard got up and started looking around like, what was that, you know? But nobody else woke up, like no, none of the inmates woke up, you know. And oh man, it was I was sweating, I was tripping right out, and I couldn't, like, I don't know, I knew that that was real evil in that dream. So then a few days go by, and I move to a different bunk in the same room, same amount of guys, and I have another dream. In this dream, I'm in an elevator, and I'm going up, and then the elevator stops, and bam, my body gets captivated again, just like in the evil dream, but in a different way. And then the elevator started opening up, and a light came through, and it that's when it really captivated me, like beyond measure. Like I was like, and my whole body was just, it was crazy, and I was like, and the more that it opened and the more the light came in, the more I felt this like divine presence, and I woke up sweating just like like it was crazy. So, and now obviously when I look back on these dreams, I'm absolutely, I know what it meant. And you know, it was just one of those things where it's always that reminder of the truth, right? And you know, then there was one more thing that isn't a dream but is in the same context of divine intervention, let's say. I was on the streets. This was one of those nights where I realized all my friends weren't really my friends. I was alone in this world, and I had no place to go, and I was completely devastated. And you know, like when you get where like your heart actually hurts, that's how I felt. And so I was just walking around, nowhere to go, no money, and all of a sudden, this peace, this contentment just came over me, and I was so content and satisfied with what I was doing at that moment in time, which was walking around trying to find cigarette butts. God put peace in my heart for that one night, man. And it happened one more time after that. But I'll never forget it, man. I'll never forget that night. Well, those two nights that God put peace in my heart. And now that I'm a born again Christian and I've changed my life, yeah, you know, I look back at these things, and it's you know, it's just a great reminder of you know, the truth of life, and that is that love is God, evil is the devil. I mean, you know, you can explain it as easy as there's good and evil in this world. Okay, if you believe in good and evil, like if you believe in that statement right now, guess what? You believe in God. You know what I'm saying? Like, it comes hand in hand. And I want you guys to think about another thing. I want you to think about this one small fact that probably no one's ever maybe said. Well, I'm sure people have mentioned this type of scenario. What is the most common saying of all time? Let me tell you. It's this: Jesus Christ. even in no matter who you are in life, you're going to walk around, you're going to stub your toe, and you're either going to say that, or you're going to say it out of love, or you're going to say it out of a lot of things. It's such a universal saying. I mean, we've all said it out of stubbing our toe. I mean, it's almost impossible not to, or like, certain situations that happen. Like, as a human, you only have so much ability to be able to control your impulses in a sense, right? Like, you're not always going to be able to, like, not say something that is so universal like that. And I want you all to think about that one fact, And so for who, like, I really do think that a lot of people just choose not to believe in Jesus Christ because they know that, or they believe that it's too much of a, I mean, it's basically saying that you're not going to win. Well, it's not saying this, but it's basically saying, like, in your mindset, you're going to think, oh, I'm never going to be able to do anything, fun. Like, I'm not going to be able to, like, well, let me tell you something. I lived a life of that for over half my life, and it almost killed me. Um, True happiness only comes from God. It doesn't come from money. It doesn't come from anything. Like, the more money you have, the less happy you're going to become. There's only a certain, there's only like a smooth period of time that you're actually going to enjoy having that money, but you're going to get to a pinnacle point where you're going to realize that materialistic things actually don't fulfill any sort of, they don't fulfill anything, absolutely nothing. I've lived a life of making a lot of money in the past, and partying and just doing all that stuff, and so I would assume that I'm a pretty good candidate to give my advice on, um, the ups and downs, and which direction would probably be, the best way to live, considering, well, so many different things. And coming from a guy that's been in that life and now is a born again Christian, um, the devil's influence is so strong and so influential in society today, and it's so, I mean, there's so many things that are involved that, if you are a smart individual and you got your head on your shoulders, you ain't gonna not believe in God, especially at this point in society today. The biblical prophecies that are being fulfilled as we speak, if you're looking at that and thinking, "Oh, that doesn't add up," you're lying. And I bet you there's a lot of people around the world that are like, "Oh my God, this is actually all adding up." Like, wow. I mean, this is. I mean, and I'll be honest with you, when it comes to the government and all the corruption, I actually called it all. I knew that these establishments were going to fall, and sure enough, they fell. And I've watched it fall one by one by one. And but it's a lot worse than I ever imagined. But so the only thing that we can do now as people is voice our opinions online and voice our true how we feel about what's going on, and everything else is just air. All the TikTok, all that stuff, everything else is just smoke. That's all it is. It's smoke, and it's killing people. So we got to make changes, man. But I'm praying for y'all. See you next time. Have a good day and have a good night.